In the heart of the dusty Old West, notorious outlaw Jesse Rattlesnake Harper rode through the scorching desert, his mind set on a legend whispered among outlaws and fortune seekers alike. They spoke of a hidden treasure, a stash of gold coins buried deep within the lost Dutchman's mine, a treasure that promised unimaginable wealth. Jesse had spent years on the wrong side of the law, robbing banks and stagecoaches, always on the run from the relentless U.S. Marshals. His life had been a series of narrow escapes and dangerous heists, but this time, he felt the wind of fortune at his back. With the right map in his hand and a fierce determination in his heart, Jesse knew he was close. The journey to the lost Dutchman's mine was perilous, fraught with treacherous canyons, venomous snakes, and rival outlaws eager to claim the prize for themselves. But Jesse was no ordinary man. He had survived more shootouts than he cared to count, and had a knack for sniffing out danger before it struck. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the rugged terrain, Jesse spotted a faint, flickering light in the distance. Could it be another seeker? Or perhaps a trap set by those who wanted him dead? He urged his horse forward cautiously, his hand never straying far from the grip of his revolver. Upon closer inspection, he discovered an old, abandoned mining camp. The fire was still burning, but there was no one in sight. Jesse dismounted and approached the camp, his eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of life. Near the fire, he found a weathered journal, its pages filled with cryptic notes and hand-drawn maps. As he read through the journal, Jesse realized that he held in his hands the final clue to the lost Dutchman's mine. The notes detailed a series of landmarks and secret passages that would lead him directly to the treasure. With renewed vigor, he set out at dawn, following the instructions meticulously. After days of navigating the harsh landscape and outsmarting rival treasure hunters, Jesse finally stood at the entrance of the fabled mine. The air was thick with anticipation as he ventured inside, his lantern casting eerie shadows on the walls. Deep within the cavern, he found it, a chest overflowing with gold coins, glittering in the dim light. Jesse's heart raced as he realized the magnitude of his discovery. This was more than enough to change his life forever, to leave behind the constant danger and start anew. But as he reached for the gold, a familiar sound echoed through the cavern, the click of a revolver being cocked. Turning slowly, Jesse found himself face to face with a figure he knew all too well, Sheriff Tom Harlow, the relentless lawman who had pursued him across the West. The sheriff's eyes gleamed with a mix of triumph and admiration. "You've got a choice, Jesse," Sheriff Harlow said, his voice steady. "Turn yourself in and walk away," with a lighter sentence, "or we settle this here and now." Jesse weighed his options, the gold tantalizingly close. The wealth could change his life, but only if he lived to enjoy it. With a resigned sigh, he lowered his gun and raised his hands. "I'll take my chances with the law," Jesse said, knowing that this decision, too, would change his life in ways he couldn't yet foresee. As they rode back to civilization, Jesse couldn't help but feel a strange sense of relief. The chase was over, and for the first time in years, he felt a glimmer of hope for a future beyond the life of an outlaw.